Hi everybody, it's Erin. We're gonna do here another book review. I'm well overdoing a book review. I've gotten so many books from the library that I don't even know where to begin. So I'm gonna do this in different segments. I'm gonna do this one is a series, and this one I'm really excited about. So I'm just gonna get started. Now I rented these all from the library, so I stupidly brought the first book back in a series of six. So this whole series is a series of six. And I wish I had here to show you the cover, so I'm just going to pull it up on my iPad here. But basically what this series I have been reading. I'm only in the going on of the third book, and ay, it is good. It is so good. Like I can't even tell you. I'm loving it. It's a nice break from the whole supernatural, vampire, werewolf series that I've been getting into lately, and that everybody seems to be writing about lately. So it's kind of nice to break out of that mold. It is a fictional novel. However, it's um, based on facts, I guess. But I'm going to tell you first what it is because I'm getting way ahead of myself and you don't even know what books I'm reading. So it is The Clan of the Cave Bear. That is what the cover. There's a couple covers. This is the one that was on the internet, but there is a couple different covers. This is not the one I had, but it's The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. And I want to say it's Auel or Auel. It's hard to say. Auel. So this book actually is not a brand new book. It is very, very old. If I had the book on me, I would tell you what the date was when it was written. But it might actually tell me here. Let me just check for one sec. Yes, I found it. So the book was written in 1980, so even before I was born, probably before some of you have been born. But it's nice to come find one of those classics. And I don't know if this is quite a classic, but I know a lot of people have read it that I've mentioned that I'm reading it, and they're going, oh, I read that series back, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So kind of cool that people are reading that, and I'm now getting into it, so we can go back, and actually I've inspired a few people who have already read the series to reread it. So I hope I do the same for you guys. So it's called The Clan of the Cave Bear, and basically what it is, it starts off with a 5-year-old girl. It's set. Let me just start too, and it's set back in the Ice Age. So basically, like Neanderthals, you know, that kind of species back when us humans were little cave animals walking around like apes. So I don't know if that's right to say. Anyways, so basically it starts off with a girl. She's 5 years old. She is an earthquake happens, kills her whole family, her whole clan. So she wanders aimlessly and is about to die. I mean, she's been attacked by animals and this whole thing, and she's basically about to die. And these Neanderthal clan walk by and see her, so they pick her up, adopt her as their own, and it goes from there. It's just a beautifully written story. I mean, holy crow, with all the narrative, like the descriptive words about the landscape and like the actual. That's where the facts came in. She really, the author really, Jean, she really did her research on this. I mean, I think it took years to write these books, just based on like getting the facts straight, that sort of stuff. So you can really feel that in this story. The narrative is crazy. Also, she wrote the story of the little girl. Her name's Ayla, which is a pretty little name. But she wrote the story of the girl Ayla, who's the main character, and you really feel like that you're going through the ages with her, from when she was 5 years old when the book first opens, to years later when she's a mature woman doing these things. So I'm only on the third book out of six. I should probably give you the list. The second one is called The Valley of Horses. Looks like that. The third one is The Mammoth Hunters. The fourth one, I hope I'm getting these all right here, is The Plains of Passage. And the fifth one, sorry, I'm on the fourth here. The fifth one is, oh geez Louise. Let me see if I can remember what it's called. The Shelters of Stone. I don't have it. It's at the library. It's on hold. And then the newest one that just came out, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, is called The Land of the Painted Caves. So that's actually that book. When I was at Chapters, I was looking there, and that book is the one that actually started off my search for these books. So I just kind of glanced at it and I was going, oh, there's 5 before this. I should probably read that because that 6th book looks really good as well. So basically, I'll just give you, like I said, so I'm jumping all over in this screen, or this review. I'm really sorry, but I was really excited about it, and I'm just on the 3rd one, but I cannot wait to see what goes, finishing that book and what goes on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So I didn't want to wait while it's fresh in my mind. Basically, like I said, Ayla's a little girl. She gets found. She's from a different race now. That's where the catch is. So the Neanderthals didn't really want to keep her, but there was some, one of the small, they were a brother-sister duo. They wanted to adopt her, and because they are more of a powerful people in this clan, they were allowed to keep her. So she's from a different, they call it from the other, so a different race. She looks different from these Neanderthals, and the Neanderthals are called flatheads. So if you hear me refer to that, that's what they are. So these flatheads do adopt her into their clan. It goes from her growing up, learning their customs, learning how to behave properly, not really fitting in, but then fitting in, then not fitting in. I mean, it's back and forth, back and forth. She never, some people accept her as the clan, some don't. She deals with a lot of, there's one really nasty guy in there who does not like her at all, so she has to deal with that, and he's a pretty powerful person in the clan as well, so it kind of dwells on that. There's some really sad parts in the book. I was crying my eyes out some nights. Not in a bad way, but you could really feel like the longing, and I just really felt for her. Like, I just loved her character. So that's Ayla. And not, it's not an all sad book. Let me clear that up too. It's very funny. There was a few times I laughed out loud. I caught myself smiling. There was happy tears. I mean, it's a beautifully written series so far. I'm loving it. The only thing about the first book, and if you're like me, you like to have a little romance in the books, keeps things going, don't fret. The first book isn't really about that, but you have to get through the first book to get to know Ayla and her character. You have to. And then it leads into, so somebody told me that, and I went in knowing that, and it helped me, because I don't know if I would have, I really liked it, but I really like to have that connection with somebody else and really feel that love. So they told me just read through the first one, and then the second one is when the romance picks up. And let me tell you, it does. This is the second one again. The Valley of the Horses, I don't want to give too much away without going into details, but she does need to go find some people of her own race. And hope this isn't a spoiler, but she goes on a little journey herself. And it kind of leads from there, and she does end up finding some people who look like her and aren't different from her. And along the way, she picks up a couple wild animals and the story that develops there. But I won't go there. You'll read it when you read the second book. But the love story, oh, and even before she finds this character, Jondalar, which is who she ends up meeting on her journey. There is other love stories that develop before that. So don't feel like that's the only one, it is at the end of the novel when that kind of starts to pick up, but all in between there's a lot of other love stories with Jondalar's brother, who you'll meet in the second book. They become characters that jump in. It's a really good book. It's an interesting concept. I mean, I haven't read any books about Neanderthals and cave people and kind of dating back to that 6,000 BC days or whatever the heck it is. So really good. It's kind of about the Ice Age. Plains of Passage just develops, and this is the one I'm in right now. It just looks like that again. It just develops further into the story of Ayla and Jondalar. I'm in the middle of it, so I haven't really gotten to some of the big hits on it. I don't really want to give anything away, but you need to read this series. If you have not read it yet, pick them up and read it. I've heard from so many people to continue reading. It's so good. So that has tied up a lot of my time right now, and I keep picking these ones up over any other books. But I wanted to get that off my chest, what I thought of that book, and it is a beautiful coming of age story. And yeah, it's great. And it's also the two clans do end up meeting and having to forge, they don't get along at all, so they have to forge some kind of alliance kind of to try to coexist. So there's going to be some controversy there as well, and it's interesting as well the ways that they did things back then. Like, I find that so creative, is the way they made our everyday things that we take for granted back thousands of years, of how they did that with nothing. So it's pretty wild to see how some of our technology stems from their smarts and their ways back then. So anyways, that is The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Auel or Auel. I can't say it. I'll put all the books down below. I really think you'll like it, so I hope you pick that up. All right, that's my book review. It's supposed to be quick. It's already 11 minutes. Anyways, cheers. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.